Shares of some of the listed Adani firms have been trading lower during the morning trade, a day after billionaire Gautam Adani was charged by US prosecutors for allegedly being part of a scheme to pay $265 million, that's about 2,200 crores, bribe to Indian officials in exchange for favorable terms for solar power contracts. Dr. Sharath Kohli, senior economist, is joining us live. But before we go across to him, let's quickly show you what the current prices are of the stock of Adani. So you can see that the Adani Energy Solutions Limited stock is currently trading at 653.20 rupees. That's down 6.3% today. It's taken a hit of about 44 rupees today. Meanwhile, the Adani Enterprises Limited stock is currently trading at 2,159.20. That's down 1%, down 24.45 today. Adani Green Energy Limited is currently trading at 1,067.70 rupees. That's down 6.81%. That's about 78 rupees. Meanwhile, the Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited stock now has gone in the green. It's gone up 1.59% today, and it's currently trading at 1,132.40 rupees. Meanwhile, Adani Power Limited is trading at 463.20 rupees. That's down 2.72%. Let me quickly bring in Sharath Kohli now. Sharath Kohli, what do you make of the impact this entire story has had on the Adani stocks since yesterday and now, of course, today?
Good afternoon, Uday, and good afternoon to NewsX viewers. I think stock market memory is very short, as we were expecting yesterday after some of the shares had hit lower circuit. But the market also is very mature. So probably where the impact was on Adani Green, Adani Power. So you'll see that those shares are still down. But Adani Enterprises, just a small correction in your graphics, as of now is up by 1.5%. So I think the investors realize that even if there is a problem, first of all, the problem is not proved in India. They are just allegations. They have got no substance right now. Unless they get proved in India, they do not carry any weightage. And I think people and investors have started realizing that even if there is a problem with Adani Greens, which was the main company named in the allegations in the charge sheet, Adani Enterprises has got nothing to do with it. Adani Ports has got nothing to do with it. So we will see over a period of time, like it happened in case of Hindenburg 1 and Hindenburg 2.0, that the stocks bounced back very quickly. It took a while for the market and the investors to absorb the shock. And then it started recovering when it was given a clean chit by SEBI, by Supreme Court, and by the special committee which was formed. I think something similar will happen, because I don't think investors in India should give any weightage to the American charge sheet. The allegations are that the bribe was paid in India. The allegation was that the bribe was received in India. The allegations is that the company are in India, the individuals are in India. So what is America doing there is the $1 billion question. But I think the stock market, and today anyway, the stock market sentiment is very good today, because some of the rating agencies internationally, which I'll name some of them, CLSA, Goldman Sachs, Citi, HSBC, they have today been bullish on India. They say the 10% correction which has happened in the stock markets over the last few weeks is proving to be healthy. It is giving an opportunity for investors to re-enter the market, and the valuations have now become attractive. So I think the sentiment overall today is bullish. Nifty is up by more than 500 points. Sensex is up by more than 1,600 points. So I think it is that sentiment also which is driving the Adani shares, I would say, other than Adani Green and Adani Power, which are driving the market up. But I'm sure market memory is short-lived today, and this is not going to last for too long. Eventually, unless something is proved in India, unless an Indian investigative agency or an Indian court, vindicates what the New York Federal Court has allegated or has written in the charge sheet, the 54-page charge sheet, I really don't think this is going to last for too long. Mr. Adani and his company are now quite used to these. I've given a new name. We were hearing about the intercontinental ballistic missile. I have given a new name called ICDM, the intercontinental derogatory missile. He's quite used to these ICDMs being fired on him, which has happened a few occasions earlier, and same goes for the market. A market tends to forget very soon. So I think the market will revive, it will come back. These allegations, unless these allegations get proved, or there is some substantial evidence which is in support of the charge sheet today.
Right. Let me in fact also quickly now play out or rather ask you, Sharath Kohli, about this this criticism that some are leveling, saying that these are hit jobs on the Adani Group. What do you make of that charge?
Well, because I think that remark is coming from history, because what we saw in Hindenburg 1.0, Hindenburg 2.0, there was a hit job because there was a short seller who wanted to make money. The whole story of George Soros and his interest in bringing down the governments, linking businessmen to the governments, linking Prime Minister Modi with Adani and all that. So I think it is a narrative, it's a propaganda being run, which is why it looks like a hit job, because in the backdrop of America, with the transition phase when the Republicans are going to take over in another couple of months from the Democrats, I think the Democrats, while going, they are doing a lot of things, and it's a very strange part of the American democracy when the president doesn't have a mandate anymore, but the new president will have to wait for 2 months for the transition to be complete. So I think we saw that decision on Ukraine when President Biden allowed firing the long-range missiles on Russia, which was easily avoidable, because of which Russia signed the nuclear doctrine. So I think this jate theory, while going you do this, while going you do that, and create problems for the forthcoming administration. I think this is a very strange thing which I observed in the American democracy. That is one. Plus, we should not forget that the Canadian pension funds are the ones who've invested. So we all know what is going on between India and Canada. Trudeau, the whole Trudeau thing which is happening with India, Indian-Canadian relations are at an all-time low. And with Canadian pension funds being investors in this whole thing, and which is regulated by the Canadian government. So this also looks very obvious. The George Soros deep state theory, the open society theory looks very obvious. So the whole backdrop, plus, the heartburn for Indian growth story, Uday, that is very, very evident. There are, forces around the world who cannot tolerate India growing at 7%, becoming the 4th largest economy very soon, likely to become 3rd largest. They cannot tolerate this. This land of snake charmers can probably be the fastest growing economy in the world and can be among the top 3 economies. Some people cannot tolerate, it's a heartburn. So they keep trying these hit jobs. They keep doing these hit jobs by finding material here and there. And they also, Uday, want to glorify India's image as a corrupt country. Corruption has been there in India. No one of us can deny. But ever since Prime Minister Modi's administration has come, this government has come, there has been a hit on the corruption. But they want